In today's video we are gonna taking a deep dive into an exciting new product, the Lava Studio. This is a desktop amplifier packed with innovative and useful features, making it an all-in-one device for guitar playing, practicing, learning and creating. I will walk you through all the features of the Lava Studio in depth, but just to give you a quick overview, the Lava Studio offers AI-driven amp and effect simulations for electric guitar, acoustic guitar and bass guitar. It includes a built-in MiniDAW for recording your creative ideas. You get hundreds of backing tracks and drum loops, perfect for building your own jams or improvisations. It even has integrated guitar lesson videos if you want to improve or expand your skills. And on top of that, it works as a powerful 2.1 audio system for listening to your favorite music. I feel very honored to be able to show you this innovative piece of gear. And when I received the Lava Studio a few weeks ago, I filmed the unboxing. And as you can see, it comes with a nice premium kind of package, which is very satisfying to open. Similar to an Apple product, I would say. And as you can see, the Lava Studio is essentially a speaker with a large touchscreen built on top of that, which you can tilt up to almost 90 degrees. And you can place it perfectly on your desk or anywhere else you want. There's also this optional stand, which I use in my setup. And I think it looks really cool and it's like something you could easily place in your living room and it always looks beautiful. And here's a quick overview of the main specs and details. Feel free to pause the video to read through them if you are interested. And now let's start the deep dive into the Lava Studio. Be sure to check out the timestamps down below so you can easily jump between different sections. Alright, so now I will guide you through the features of the Lava Studio step by step. And as you can see, currently it's still turned off. And on the front you have, all the way on the left, the guitar input. I will plug my guitar in there in a second. Then you got the headphones output if you want to play with headphones. Then you got the on and off switch. Simply press and hold that and it will turn on. And then you got the volume control. And on the back you got a USB connection, USB-C, and the power connection, and also a left and right output, which I also have connected to my audio interface. I will record the audio from the Lava Studio straight into my audio interface to capture the high quality sound. But also I record the room sound with my iPhone. So you get an idea of how this speaker of the Lava Studio sounds like. Of course, it's very hard to capture a perfect room sound, but I think you will get a good idea how powerful this thing sounds. Alright, so let me turn it on. Yeah, and this is the first screen you will see. This is the sound menu. You got 5 menus down there where you can navigate through. I will start with the menu all the way on the left, which is kind of an home screen, which looks really nice. So you got the time, you got the date, and here you can play your favorite music because you can use the Lava Studio as a Bluetooth speaker. So you can connect your phone, you can connect something via USB-C, you can even install music apps like Spotify or Apple Music. And then you can simply blast your favorite music through that speaker. And yeah, that's really cool. So let me show you that because I got my other phone connected. So that's a really cool feature. You can simply play your favorite music and you got a nice home screen, which you can also adjust when you press and hold on the screen. You can adjust the backgrounds and there are many options, many beautiful moving pictures or like little videos. You know, it's very similar to like what Apple does. Like this whole system looks a bit like Apple products, which is nice. I like Apple products, so I like that simplicity and that whole vibe. And look, you even got animals. Let's take the cat because I like cats. So yeah, this is the home screen, and yeah, you can just put on a nice background and listen to some music here, which looks nice. And then on the top, just to show you, you can see I've connected the left and right outputs. So you always get notified what is currently happening. There's also a Bluetooth sign. That means I'm connected with Bluetooth. And also the Wi-Fi signal, which is very weak in this position where this Lava Studio is currently, but it's still connected. And then you got the settings. And just for you to show, when I plug in my guitar, of course you can see it up here. But I will unplug it again because I want to show you the settings first, because they are very simple. If you press on the settings here, you can check the master volume. You can also adjust it here, of course. You have the brightness for the screen, which you can adjust. Then Wi-Fi, then Bluetooth. And then you got some quick access for a tuner, metronome. You can screen record. And what is that? You can cut. Oh, a screenshot. Okay, you can make a screenshot. So yeah, you got some things here, but also you got more settings. And yeah, you can do a software update. You got Wi-Fi settings, Bluetooth settings, display and brightness, general. Yeah, like basic settings. It's very minimalistic, I would say. The most interesting ones are the sound settings, because there you can add a global equalizer. There you got this setting where you can change the overall sound of the speaker to make it more like a room sound. Like, I don't know how to explain it, and it's hard to capture. What they suggest is to try both, like try turning it on, try turning it off, and depending on the room you are in, one of the settings works better. So just listen to your ear. If you turn it on, it's more like a room sound, and you can even adjust the intensity here. I currently have turned it off because I think when I play music, for example, it sounds better, at least in my room, when it's turned off. And there you can see it's like simulating a room-filling audio experience. So that's a cool feature which you can use to play around and find the best setting for you. I leave it off. And then you got the advanced settings. And there's an important thing, the instrument input gain. That's what I need to lower because I use a pretty high output humbucker on this guitar. So I need to lower that down. You can see it on when we go through the sounds. You can see the input gain also visually. So you can see if you are in the red area or if you're in the green or yellow area. So that's an important thing you have to keep in mind. And then you got other volumes like media volume, the output gain for your instrument. Then you got the sound effects, like you get these clicky effects when you turn this on. I turn that off because this can be a bit annoying. And then speaker active with line output. I have turned that on because I want to also have the speaker activated from the Lava Studio when I record through the line out. So this is something you can change. I think the default mode is that this is turned off. So I turned this on. Okay, yeah, these are the main settings. So now go back. We are on the home screen. And now we go to the most interesting part, the sounds. So I will now plug in my guitar, finally. And what you see here is like a favorites menu, I would say. Like these are like your favorite whatever settings. I haven't changed them, only one, which is a bass sound, which I will show you later. But the other ones are like just stock presets. And of course, you can adjust these favorites in the way you like it. I will just go through some of them, which I think are really cool. I like that crunch rock sound. So let me show you that. Okay, let's take classic rock. progressive metal. Then alt rock rhythm. Yeah, just to show you a few drive sounds. I will show you more in a second. I take the classic rock one as my base to show you the edits. But before I do that, what you could see is like this color theme when I start playing, you know. It's reacting to the input that comes into the Lava Studio, and yeah, it's doing these color things. I think you can also turn that off, but yeah, it looks really cool, I think. Yeah, and then another thing, we got a huge tuner, look at that. That's really cool. It's also automatically muting the signal, of course, but you can also change that if you want to hear your tuning sound. And of course, you also got a metronome always ready. And you can also tap in, which is nice. So you always got easy access to those two things, which is really cool. Okay, now back to the preset. We can go to expand, and then we have the signal chain. And as you can see, you can put 3 effects before the amp, then you got the amp, the cap, and then you have 3 effects after the amp. So let's add something, just for example, let's add a delay. So you got a lot of different things here. Let's go to delay, and yeah, you can see you got ping pong delay, digital, tape, reverse, analog, lo-fi, and slapback delay. Let's take the digital one, and now it's in your chain and you can use it. That's very nice. So let's make it like this. Mix a bit lower, but feedback higher. Yeah, sounds really good. And what you can see here is what I told you before. Here you can see the input gain. And even it's turned down to minus 6 dBs. It's still in the yellow area because this pickup has a lot of output. But this really depends on your guitar. If you have single coils, of course, you can adjust it a bit higher, probably. What I want to try is, because that's always interesting to see, there is some kind of pitch shifter. Exactly, that's what I want to see, if this works well. The tracking is really good, I have to say. Let's make only the octave. Oh, what I've done. You can feel a subtle latency, but it's still very good, I would say. And if you mix in the dry signal, you can't feel it at all. Like with the dry signal, you can't feel any latency. And you have different pitches. Yeah, this works well. This is always a good sign if those pitch shifting effects have a good tracking, and this seems to be very good. And you can see here on the top the DSP percentage. Because I think if you put too many intense effects in there, then this might goes too high, and you can't use like all crazy effects at once, which makes sense. But yeah, so far I had no issues for the sounds that I tried to get. So let's go to the amps, because that's interesting to see what kind of amps are here. Let's take this one. And the cap is always matching automatically, but I think you can also change that. Yeah, you got it here, auto cap, if you want to change that. And there is the reactive light thing. You can see. Here's also the purple light. Okay, you got clean and lead. Yeah, sounds really good, I have to say, but I want to try some more just to see the variety. Oh, let's take a Tone King rhythm. I have to remember that I have a tube screamer turned on. Let's do some more reverb. That sounds really good. I switched the overdrive to something different. Let's take a distortion 1, a DS1 probably. That's very loud for some reason. So this, I turn the level down. Yes. Tone and distortion. Sounds really good, actually. I'm impressed. Let's take a red. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, that's really cool. Let me change the guitar quickly, because I want to also show you some single coil sounds. All right, I got my telly, and this is just the Tone King amp. Let's add a different drive, something like a clone. This has a really nice feeling, I have to say, especially those lower gain sounds where you can feel like the dynamic with your picking. This works extremely well. let's take the Tube Screamer. I don't know what I'm playing. Nice. Just for some variety, adding some modulation. Let's take a chorus. So as you can see, I can put quite a few effects in there. Let's turn the pitch shifter on. So I got all the effects in and there's no issue. I could add one more, but yeah. Okay, I don't know if this is a good sound, but just to demonstrate that it's capable to add quite a few effects. Yeah, let's go back to the amps because I think this is a very interesting part to see what else is there. There's a lot of well-known stuff you can probably see on the pictures. Is the Tube Screamer still on? Yes, it is. Let's turn that off. All right, that sounds nice. I love that you have different options on the amps, like here, high input, low input. And yeah, different settings on those amps. It's not always the same, like the same controls and switches. Yeah, that's really cool. What else? I like this one a lot. This sounds really good in the room and probably also on the recording, which I will hear when I edit the video. But in a room, it sounds amazing and it's a lot of fun. I could go forever like this, but I think that's getting boring for you. Yeah, let's just try to save this exact preset. How is this working? I think I just need to quit. Save changes. Okay, and then the classic rock one is now this, but I'm not fine with that. I think I would need to clone, and then you got a copy, and then yeah, whatever. You can rename it, and then you got a new preset. Okay, I get it. So, and now I messed up the original preset, but that's okay. I delete this one, and the classic rock is now this. Which is maybe not the typical classic rock sound, but yeah, we can rename it if we want, but I will leave it like that for now. And also what I want to show you, there are even more presets pre-installed. When you go to library here, you can go through a lot of different presets for electric guitar, bass, you can even play bass, acoustic, and then you got different genres where you can filter everything. I want to show you bass because I have a bass, and why not showing you the bass sounds? And let's take this. Let's take this. You can see here when you press add, then you add this to your favorites. And yeah, now I got bass clean here. And I will remove Bassy Man because for some reason I saved that previously, but I like the bass clean one more. And of course you got similar settings here. You got bass amps. So you can see you got 5 bass amps. And you can see you also have these details here, like bright switches, deep switches, and all that stuff. So it's each amp model seems to be very individual. Like it's not just a simple interface. Like you have a lot of depth in the settings here, which is really cool. I like that. 2 little things that I almost forgot to show you. One is that you can turn each effect in the effect chain off by sliding up or sliding down. That's very useful. And also, if you have issues with getting a precise value here, like let's say you want to have exactly 50 and it's super hard for you by rotating the knobs to get exactly 50, then there's an alternative way if you go through the 3 dots, and then you got gesture settings, and if you go there and then change the rotate mode to the slide mode, then it's much easier because you can slide this way, and yeah, it's easier to get a precise result on those settings. All right, I'm now back with the tele, and I choose my classic rock tone. I adjusted it just a little bit. I added a noise gate at the end just to have some less noise when I'm explaining the things here. All right, so I got this sound, got this activated, and then we go to the next menu, which is Lava Plus. And here you have some really cool things. Maybe if you are familiar with the Lava Mi guitars, like the Lava Mi 4, then this will look very familiar to you. So you got the backing track menu, and there you got improvs, loops, yeah, the loops, and then you got respond improvs where you can respond to improvs that other people in the Lava space have created. Okay, and improvs are basically backing tracks. So you can see a key, you can see a genre up here, and then you simply choose one, like I like this one, the blues rock. So you can start playing it and you just try if this is something you want to jam over. And then you can also, while you're playing, you can adjust the volume of the track by sliding this. I don't know why it's not working. Yeah, now it's working. So you can adjust the volume of the track. But for me, the full volume was fine. And then you can press use. Then you also come to a screen which is maybe familiar to you when you know the Lava Mi guitars. So you got this loop section. So you can start just playing to the backing track when you press play. And as you can see, you can also see the chord changes on the screen, but you can also record to that. So let me try that. I haven't practiced this, but yeah, just see what happens. Okay, so now I recorded yeah, more or less okay loop, and what you can hear now is that the guitar is super loud after one loop. And you can of course adjust it when you go to the volume, and you can lower this like crazy because it's very loud. Yeah, as you can see, you can afterwards adjust everything perfectly, the volumes and whatever. This is really cool if you just want to practice your improvisation skills. Just choosing a backing track that you like and start recording over it, and then you can analyze it and try it again, whatever, which is really cool. And you can also save it and you can post it in this, yeah, kind of, I will delete it, in this kind of social media feed, whatever, I think. Yeah, you can see there are a few available, so there are people sharing those loops which they created, and you can also do that. So it's similar to like sharing a social media post, but only in this Lava space. So you got the backing tracks, then you got the loops, which are just drum tracks. So yeah, you got a lot of them. Let's take Sweet Girl O' Mine, and you can see which kind of drum track this will be. Like there are many tracks that from reading the titles, you know which kind of sound it is, like Motel California or yeah, Sweet Girl O' Mine. You can adjust the BPM, but I take it like this. And then you again got this looping window, but here you can add more layers, which is pretty cool. So you can start with a rhythm guitar, then a lead guitar, and you can even add a bass because you also got the bass sounds in here. But just to show it simply, I will now record like a rhythm guitar and then a lead guitar over that. Okay, now I got the rhythm guitar and now another layer with a solo. Yeah, it wasn't perfect. Let me just lower the volume because I'm sure it's also very loud. That was really bad, but you get the idea. You can add 3 layers on that, so I could even record a bass if I want. And yeah, that's like the loop feature on there, and it's also really fun if you want to be creative and create your own little ideas, you know, to a certain drum track. And yeah, that's really cool. So also, like, this is also available already on the Lava Mi guitars, but I think this way it's even cooler because you got more variety. Oh, and I want to show you something, because you can do things. You can adjust the sounds afterwards, which is cool. If you want to save it and you decide to want to have a different sound, then you can just change it afterwards. Yeah, so you can see that's a really fun feature, definitely. And here's something else. Yeah, you can set the count in bars and auto record and adjusting latency. Yeah, that's cool. So let's delete that. And yeah, then you got the respond improvs, where you can respond to improves that others have created if you want that. Yeah, that's the Lava Plus feed. One thing is lessons. You can watch lesson videos, which is really cool.
My name is Nicholas, and welcome to How to Play Neo's.
Yeah, you can see like there are a lot of different videos where you can learn things if you want to improve your skills. That's really cool. So you can choose licks, you can choose rhythm, lead, whatever is interesting for you, and you got the videos ready. And I'm sure you can also, of course, yeah, you can have it in full screen.
First, let's practice a straight feel using a muted technique with the backing track.
That's really cool. Okay, and that's also a bit structured into intermediate, beginner. And there you can see the different instructors who are doing the videos. That's really cool. I'm sure there will be even more added in the future. I think this is something that is ongoing, which is cool. So if you want to improve your skills, the Lava Plus menu is where to go, where you can practice your improvisation skills. You can record some loops, some ideas and stuff like that. And you can also have the lessons if you want to learn something new or get better with your skills. Then the next thing, which is super interesting, which I was very curious about, is the MiniDAW. So you basically got a little DAW in the Lava Studio, which is amazing. So when you go to that, you can choose the way how you want to start a project. You can have a blank project and you can just start recording. You can import a groove like a drum track. You can import a backing track from the ones you just saw. And you can also import your own files if you have tracks on your own. You need to upload them on the Lava Cloud with your phone, and then you can automatically get them from there. And you also got an AI stem separation feature, which is really cool. If you want to practice your favorite song, practice a solo, you can separate the audio tracks within that DAW, which is also super cool if you, I don't know, want to make a cover or just practicing a certain solo. You can get yourself the perfect backing track on that as well. But let me show you this with the import groove feature, and we will take the one that I just had, the Sweet Girl of Mine. And as you can see, this looks like a very simplified DAW. And yeah, you have your play, pause, and record buttons, and then you come back, and you can add a track. And this is then my guitar track. If you add a new track, then always what is in the input will be recorded, of course. And you have some simple adjustments here, like you can mute, you can solo, and you can pan, and you got the volume. You can't put like VST plugins or something like that. It's very simple. Let me do the same what I did before with the loop. So I will just record rhythm guitars. Alright, now I pan this to the left and I make a new track and pan this to the right, and I record another rhythm guitar with some variation. And now I switched to the bass again and I create a new track. And what I need to do now is changing the sound, because I now got still the guitar sound, but I want to have a bass sound, so I can go to this and then I get a quick access to my favorite presets, and I take my bass clean. And I'm back, and now I'm recording the bass. Okay, and the guitars are super loud for some reason, so let's lower them. And I will loop this. So as you can see, you can record little tracks with that, which is super impressive. I could now also add a lead guitar if I want, and but you get the idea. And you can also, of course, change the sound afterwards. You know, you can say. So while I was editing the video, I figured out that the bass was very low in the mix, and I wanted to show you the proper sound that I actually wanted to show in the first place. So I recorded this again, and this time with a better bass tone. So I adjusted the bass tone. And for the guitars, I used the same sound. So let's do only the guitars. And now the proper mix. I think this sounds really, really good. And you could hear that the guitars itself have a little bit less low end when you play the sound individually. But for the mix, this is perfect, and it's perfectly matching with the low end of the bass. So in the end, you don't need any EQ or whatever in this DAW if you adjust your guitar tones and your bass tones perfectly, so you can make it work super well in the mix. Yeah, and you can adjust it just the way you like it. That's really cool. That's fun, and it's very simple. It's not like diving into like Logic Pro or something, which has way too much features for people who just want to record simple things, you know. This simplifies it to the necessary things, and that's really cool. I like that. Then, of course, you can save that and do whatever you want with it. You can also activate a metronome if you don't have a drum track in there. But yeah, that's basically how this works. I want to show you now the AI stem separation tool, because this made me curious as well. Because I use those tools pretty often, I would say, in Logic Pro when I'm recording something. So I wanted to see how well this works in this mini DAW. And I loaded one of my tracks, which you heard in the beginning, into the Lava Cloud, and I want to demonstrate that. I want to demonstrate it with this track. And you can see now how the Lava AI does its magic. And you can choose if which kind of tracks you want to have, like which kind of separation. It automatically adds all possibilities. Yeah, you can see this is just an instrumental track. So vocals are empty. So I can delete that. Piano is also not happening here. Other is also not there. We just got guitar, drums, and bass. So we can separate the guitar track, the bass track, and the drum track. So let's try if I then just can play to it, just for you to see how well this works. I need a sound, of course. Classic rock. Let's take crunch rock, which is a good sound for that. And let's play to my track. Yeah, as you can see, this works well and it's a lot of fun, you know, like you have a lot of possibilities with that. If you have any track you want to separate the individual instruments, you can do it perfectly here. And then, of course, you could record again by simply adding another track. And then you can record your guitar part over that, which is really cool and opens up so many possibilities. And yeah, that's the MiniDAW. You can also save those projects, you can export them, and yeah, that's basically it. So let's go back and I will show you this quickly. There you can see the Lava Cloud where you can share files, you know, between your phone and the studio, the Lava Studio. So if you want to add audio tracks and stuff like that, you can get access here. Yeah, you can see I got my audio track here and the screenshot I did in the beginning. Then you can search for updates and then you got apps, which is interesting because you got YouTube here. So you can watch your favorite YouTuber on your Lava Studio. So that's really cool. And then you got the App Center when you want to install third-party apps like Spotify or Apple Music. Maybe there will be more apps in the future, I don't know. And I haven't tried that because I'm not using any of those. But yeah, if you want to listen to your music, your Spotify or Apple Music playlist, you can do that. You simply go to the homepage here and then you choose a nice background and relax to your favorite music. All right, that was the Lava Studio, and this device honestly gave me a lot of fun, both while filming, but also afterwards when the cameras were off and I just got lost in playing guitar through it. So let's start with the sound. To my ears, the speaker sounds very full and balanced, and there's plenty of low end through that built-in subwoofer, so you can even use it very well with a bass guitar. But also if you're listening to music, this speaker handles the low end very well. And you also got that room sound setting that I showed you, where you can just perfectly adjust the sound to the room you are in, which is a really nice feature. So you got a lot of options to make the sound perfect for your circumstances. So whether you are listening to music via Bluetooth, Spotify, Apple Music or YouTube, or you simply play guitar or bass, the Lava Studio delivers great sound quality. The amp simulations are super detailed, which I liked a lot. You even get those little mini switches and extra knobs depending on the amp type. And all the amp and effect simulations sounded really good to my ears. And even the low gain tones felt very responsive and dynamic, which is super important for expressive playing. You've got pretty much all effects that you need built into the Lava Studio, and you can freely adjust the signal chain, which is pretty cool. So you got a lot of creative possibilities. And then we also have the loops, the improvs, the lessons, and also the MiniDAW, which is really cool. And this is really where the Lava Studio shines and sets itself apart as a true all-in-one device. The MiniDAW is something that I enjoyed a lot, And it is incredibly useful for quickly capturing ideas in a simple, no-fuss way. The loops and the improv features lets you get lost in jamming and being creative. And having access to built-in lessons and exercises is, of course, a huge plus as well. And that's why the name Lava Studio fits so well for this device, because it's basically a compact studio for guitarists. When it comes to the whole user interface, as you saw in my deep dive, everything is very intuitive and easy to follow. I didn't need the manual at all for most of the things, maybe for some little details, but everything was super easy and very intuitive. And also what I need to mention is that the touch screen is very responsive and smooth, and overall very convenient to use. So I think the Lava Studio is perfect for anyone looking for a minimal and compact setup. I mean, it covers your tones, it provides backing tracks and drum loops, and even lets you record. Of course, it doesn't fully replace a professional DAW on your computer or laptop, but for most day-to-day playing, practicing, creating, and also recording, it's all here in one device. All you need is your guitar and a cable, that's it. Everything else is built in to the Lava Studio. And that can really simplify things and help you focus on what matters the most, which is making music. One thing I'm still not 100% sure about is the internal storage, because I was a bit worried about that. It's only 64 gigabytes, and as far as I know, there's no option to connect an external hard drive to expand that. I mean, you can always export your audio files to the Lava Cloud, and from there you can move it to your phone or your computer, so you get some more space on the Lava Studio again. But I think it would be super convenient if we simply could connect a hard drive to the Lava Studio and move our files freely. Yeah, that's one thing that I would love to see on the Lava Studio. Unfortunately, I don't have any information about what the retail price will be at the moment when I'm filming this video, but as always, I will include all the relevant links down in the video description. I really hope you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. If so, please leave a like and let me know your thoughts about the Lava Studio down in the comments. And if you are new here, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that we can see each other in the next video.